Okay, so backup deck time. Now, I believe that this idea came from a chatter who said that they had tried the Soultrader combo in the Skimmer deck. I'm not sure if that's something that happened or if I'm like just imagining that. So if that was you, let me know. But I spent some time working on this last night instead of playing more of like a value pile, which we've been doing in our Skimmer Soultrader decks. We're a combo deck. We're playing the Warren Soultrader Apprentice Gravecrawler combo. There's a little bit of fun overlapping synergy with Dredger's Insight, where Insight is a card that triggers Skimmer when Skimmer's in play because the card goes from the graveyard. And then, of course, your Unearths are going to trigger your Skimmers too, but also your Gravecrawler triggers Skimmers. So there's some fun overlapping synergy there as well. And this is kind of similar to the other deck we're playing too, where we just have a lot of good grinding potential between Trespasser, Oculus, Frog, Skimmer, alongside a pretty fast combo. We're also main decking the pushes in this Boros Prados metagame. This could be different interaction, like Force of Negation, if that's what the format calls for. Am I on 22 or 23? 22. 22 on the play. Good hand if we draw land, but we have to draw it immediately. I don't really want to scour into it. Let's go to 6. Maybe we keep that on the draw. I've been impressed by fair overlord decks that break up your combo. Often have trouble beating slow 5/5 with value attached. Well, like, is that better than Oculus or Trespasser or Skimmer or Frog? I feel like all of those things end up being better. All right, Sultai. Hold on. Sultai, Skimmer, Soultrader. Yeah, I do think Scour is better than Supplier. Like, Supplier just does not do that much. Okay, so we have drawn a Soultrader, we've drawn a land, and we are set up pretty well here, I think. We 3-2'd both of our leagues with the Ketchamos Inverter deck. We won a lot of games with the combo. We lost to Prowess, we lost to Boros twice and Prowess twice, I think were our 4 losses. We also beat Prowess once. I stomped Prowess yesterday off stream. I feel like those matchups would be better than they ended up being, so it's possible we could do some more evaluating there too. So probably going to go Trader, sack Servo, push the Frog this turn. What land are we going to get, though? I think basic Swamp should be okay. Am I crazy for wanting push up turn 1 instead of leading with Island? I think so, because I wanted to get Overgrown Tomb off of the fetch land. So it's like if I get Overgrown Tomb, I can't scour that turn. Do they have a subtlety here, I wonder? They have a Force of Negation. It's pretty good. They pitched Counterspell. This is also good, too, because the push not going to the yard means I still need one more card to cast Oculus. Should upkeep push. Well, I want to attack. Maybe, I guess, play around Force of Negation wins. You could get Spell Pierce, which is unlikely. Yeah, I guess upkeep push is the move. I guess we double block if they attack and don't discard anything. I like attacking before push. Well, what does that accomplish? Yeah, I agree with the Swamp. I think the upkeep push was better. Yeah, but here if they discard their whole hand, then we get to untap and play Oculus, and I think that's going to be okay. We've got the backup Soultrader in our hand, too. Oh, they also don't even get to kill both creatures if they discard the whole hand. They only get to kill one, I just noticed. I thought it was both. Is that because they played a land? Yeah, that's because they played a land. So it's like, they're like thinking about fatal pushing. If they block the 1/2, discard a card, then we push with the logic with us force. Okay, that does make sense, yeah. Had AFK, how was Ketchamos Inverter? We 3-2'd both leagues. Combo killed a bunch. I built VV as a modern card. I built a list entirely unrefined. as an artifact. Oh, they just dies. I think VV is interesting. I'm excited to play the card. A little bit early to say where it's going to end up. Two of my bronze are brewing mutate VV. I need to do something about that. How can I stop this? I thought they might have a subtlety. Blue card is last two cards. Yeah, I saw this land, the adventure land that makes a wizard. I think this card seems really good. I love these games against like black decks where you're like just sacking your stuff for value, chipping them away. I think they're always so fun. Maybe it was better to keep the Unearth in case this happened though. Although maybe we'll just find a Gravecrawler and then top 4. I haven't seen Haste Magic. Give me a second. We don't find the Gravecrawler, but we'll just take Second Apprentice and win the game anyways. Target creature goes +3/+1, gains haste. Exile top card of your library, may play it till the end, your next end step. That card's going to be great and limited, I think. Don't know about constructed. Seems interesting. Okay, so we're going to bring in our decays and our trespassers, I think. Although we don't really have much, like, much weak stuff game 1. Maybe the Trespassers... I mean, Trespassers are good against them. I think I'm going to do this. Just trim a little bit on the combo. Skimmer out because of bows. Well, I have 6 answer for Bowmasters, and in theory you want the 2-for-1s in this matchup. So this time we're on the draw with a Surveil Land and a Scour, and a matchup where we don't really want a mulligan, and a matchup where this Oculus should be good. I'm going to keep this hand. Turn 1 Tamio isn't ideal. Drawing a land is ideal. Agree with that, I guess. Tidus, Blitzball Star. Whenever an artifact enters, put a counter. Whenever it attacks, tap target creature. Okay, well that card is not a modern card. I love DRS. Is he too slow for this kind of deck originally these days? Well, got some bad news. We're not allowed to have any playable mana dorks in Modern still, unfortunately. Halfling is playable. Is it? I guess it's he's playing Brood Scale. So drawing this Unearth, I think I want to Scour first. Okay. What about 2-mana Cloud? That card is good. Card's good. Did the blue flash and transfer some Duskborn never lead you anywhere? I remember you had a shell. Don't remember seeing Knoxfield. Yeah, I was trying to combo that card with the Storm enchantment aura that turns your opponent stuff into 1/1s. I had that in like a Wilderness Reclamation shell and an Enchantress shell, then both, and it wasn't really performing very well off stream, so I don't think it made the stream. Okay, so I think because they just have a single blue mana up, I'm going to unearth my frog, and then I'm going to cast Oculus. If it seemed like they could deal with my Oculus, then I probably wouldn't take this line. Is Ignoble Hierarch playable in theory? I mean, you could include it in some decks sometimes, but I wouldn't include it in decks very often. So it seems like they have one Fatal Push, and they're thinking about killing Frog now versus trying to kill the more threatening Oculus. Kind of a bummer not to hit a creature. It's okay, I guess. I guess I don't care much if they Bowmaster block. They can clue and push anyway, so it's not like playing around Revolt is a thing here. Do I still have my other Surveil Land in the deck? I do. That was the last game that I milled it. I guess I should have played Gravecrawler first, so if they kill this... I mean, they're not going to kill this in response, they're going to kill this, but... I digress. Guess I don't want to Surveil in response. Well, they've got rid of my Soultrader, so I guess I'm taking Trespasser. It's honestly kind of close there though, since like an Unearth or another Soultrader would let me combo kill. But I think this is fine. So I'm going to try to Surveil whatever this is into the yard to be able to cast Oculus. Although this is a card I really want. So I guess this turn we could cast this and flip up the Manifest. So let's see if this gets snared. Maybe I would cast Oculus if that happened. Okay. Yeah, this isn't getting through that well, actually, I guess. You want to do this main phase 1, so if our opponent has like Subtlety, we can attack with our like 2/2s. I guess they would still be able to discard the last card. Maybe that's wrong. Does Fnatic of Ronis not count as a mana dork? I'm guessing since it has other text. Well, it is a mana dork. It's not a 1-mana dork. But I mean, like, it's not like our Fnatic decks have been super good. They've been like, we've had some that are okay, but I think they're all pretty poorly positioned at the moment. Looking pretty good for us here. In before Damnation, I guess. So next turn we could flip up Skimmer, flip up Trespasser, draw a card maybe. Assuming that they're not just super dead to this, which it seems like they are. Alright, Apprentice is going to line up pretty well against the turn 1 Ragavan here. We'll Scour again. I could draw a Frog, Unearth. I drew another land. That's bad. I needed these in my hand. I think I'm going to just Surveil this turn, and then we can play Skimmer next turn. How do you think Breach is positioned? I feel like it was really strong for a second, almost never seen it now. There's not a lot of counter spells, it's probably solid. So will they flip their Ajani? They do. They plus the Ajani, which is interesting. Guess they just want to get the ultimate off. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, not a great draw. Game 2. So we're going to bring in the other Trespassers and the Decays. I really want to play a main deck Decay deck now. Decay just does seem so well positioned. Let's try cutting the Scours. It's a little bit weird, but I want to try it. Wait on Skimmer, so I can get my Surveil. I could I think it's I just need a good draw next turn. The Skimmer doesn't do much for me this turn. It doesn't even kill a Johnny if it flips. I mean, our draw was pretty bad, so it's like I think we just kind of have to hope they have nothing, and then we top deck well. Through the Reach Eldrazi got destroyed by the loss of the One Ring. Maybe. That's an Emolda 6. Like, one thing is, Through the Breach Eldrazi is... It just has an I win the game button in the mirror. I win the game button against all the problematic combo decks. I don't know. Maybe it is just too inconsistent. Maybe we can try it. Yeah, I think I'd like to probably just go Decay, Guide of Souls, then play the Trespasser. Did Reach recently won a challenge, just blue-red? Yeah, I think so. Okay, I like that top deck. Also, the second Decay should be, in theory, a nice way to clean up a Johnny if they can flip it this turn. If my Trespasser can't get the job done. So they can discard the rest of their hand to kill my Trespasser. They decide not to. It's pretty tempting to go Dredger's Insight looking for a land. I think that's just too risky. Oh, sorry, I should have flipped the stupid thing. Sorry about that. If night becomes day or day becomes night, if it's already not day or night. So they discharge, discarding their last card, which is an Arid Mesa. Interesting, we got so much value out of that. They ended up doing that anyways. I think I'm going to go for a Dredger's Insight. If we can find a Gravecrawler, obviously we can go for the combo. So did I mill a frog? So now I need to decide, do I want to unearth the Apprentice or do I want to cast Psychic Frog? I think I want to cast Psychic Frog on this board. Have the Pick Your Poisons been good? They were really good in the more fair build we were playing, so I wanted to keep them in for this build. Okay, that'll be a big problem next turn. Right now, it's still this turn. Okay, no easy Gravecrawler top deck. I'm going to exile the Apprentice so I gain an extra life here. It's a good draw. Alright, so do I kill the Pride? Maybe I should just save this to discard. Yeah, I think we kill the Voice. Yeah, they don't go after the frog. Again, I probably should have saved the shores. Although, like, the extra mana does let me combo kill if I find Gravecrawler, so it's not like it's completely pointless. They're top decking. They top deck a Guide of Souls. They have no energy in their pool at the moment. I'm gonna attack. I think we're gonna play enough blockers here that I think we're just attacking with both. They chump with the Trespasser. You can combo kill as is due to the treasures. Well, I don't think. I think I needed the. I needed the 5th mana to do so, right? Like you have to have 5 mana, don't you? Save this for the frog. You can. Oh, sorry. Of course, sack the creatures on board. Yeah, that was like sacking like frog and Trespasser for value is not something I was thinking. But yeah, you're right. Do I want like 1 pick your poison? It also kills like stuff that they've jumped with Guide of Souls, which could be okay. I think on the draw I'm gonna play 1 less Soultrader. We'll play 1. Could play 1 less Gravecrawler too. Second pick your poison's kind of sus. Could play 1 Force of Negation. Our blue card count is 10. I guess it's a little low. Is this deck ... actually good? I think it's solid. Yeah. I'm grinding out here, y'all. I'm spending a lot of time on brews right now. It's always the hardest time in the season, like right before a new set comes out. So this hand is really nice. Being able to go Frog into Unearth Oculus on turn 3. Although at the moment we can't quite double spell. Also, they didn't play a 1-drop. They Graveyard a Bombardment. Kind of hope I draw a black fetch so I can play around Blood Moon a little bit. There's a 1-drop. There's another 1-drop. Okay. A blue fetch. Another 1-drop. So I don't think I'm flying my frog this turn, but I think I will attack and just have them chump with the cat. Okay, it's a good grab. They did miss their land drop last turn, so they could maybe slam a Blood Moon here. Could we beat a Blood Moon? Maybe. I'm not sure quite yet, Aquanessa. So, like, this deck is solid, that other build is solid. I would encourage you to watch and try to figure that out for yourself, too. Figure it out with me. Okay, no basic planes, so we're probably dodging the Blood Moon here. So I think my opponent will double jump this Ocelot Pride, so I'm going to try to Fatal Push that when that happens. Good play. So am I okay with my opponent chumping my frog with the Fable token? No, I think I'm going to fly the frog. Let's get aggressive here. Although I guess getting aggressive against... double guide is not super advisable. If they trade here, that's okay, of course. All right, they're at 11. Let's pick a skimmer. I'd be discard about concerned about discard Phage Escape. Well, not much we could do about that. They would have to draw. I guess they could Shaman token. Yeah, I think this was still a fine line. Maybe it was better to like keep a land to play for that turn though. But having a big frog is just so valuable. This card's Showdown and Goblin Bombardment. They're going to combat. So maybe double jump the Shaman. Okay, double jump a Guide. Interesting that they wouldn't go in on the Shaman, which has the attack trigger. I don't really understand. Maybe they have... Like, surely they don't have, like, a damage-based sweeper here. If they had Wrath of Skies, they would also attack with the Shaman. New 3-drop, 3/4 Boros Legend Spoiled. With the discard 2, then draw up to that mini. This flips into a 4/4 Flying Lifelink. 2 damage to each opponent. 2 damage to each opponent. Return any number of creature cards, total mana value 6 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, it's obviously flips for a lot of mana. Okay, so they Thraben Charm my Oculus. Nothing we can do to stop that. They play a Surveil land. They're at 10 life. It's really... How did we end up here? This is not so bad. I could flip the Skimmer. I could draw a card. I could maybe go Soultrader, sack this, flip this, and then deal them 4 damage after combat. So I could go attack with Trespasser, discard Trespasser, hit them for 5 in the air, hit them for 1 down here, which puts them to 4. And then I could go Trader, sack Skimmer. Trader, sack Skimmer. Flip up this Marionette Apprentice. Sack Trespasser, sack Treasure, sack Frog. And I lose if they have a discharge. Do I think it's likely they have a discharge? Not really. I think they would have saved some energy to go after the Frog. Does it make much sense to do anything? I think I don't attack with this, so I don't lose that. If they trade here, I can still kill them, so... It seems like this is the line, and they seem very F6, so hopefully I've remembered how to count to 10. I did graduate elementary school a while ago. Pitch everything, attack with all is lethal. I guess, let me just check that. So this is 7, 2, I guess that is also lethal. Both lethal. I think this is the better lethal, though. Because I also get to fly with the Skimmer. I guess oh no. Well, should be fine still. Might also get to flip this up for damage. Alright, so right now this is 7 in the air. 8. 9. Okay. 2-0. Didn't do very well. Let's keep this. Keep that. Yeah, if this is Eldrazi, keeping the double Fatal Push hand is pretty bad. Looks like it is Eldrazi. Only I could grab this Unearth. So the Oculus can trigger the Skimmer next turn. Let's see what we mill over with the Scour. We draw an Unearth. We also mill over a Gravecrawler. Both those things are pretty interesting. So if I cast Unearth, I may be just a little bit too weak to then exiling Frog and Gravecrawler with the K command. Let's play the Skimmer this turn. It's not actually a good card, but it's playable. I think that, honestly, I think Trespasser is just so hard to evaluate that people still should talk it. I had a hard time evaluating it too, but it's just like a really resilient, like 2-for-1 that it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent and like swings the life total in your direction. I think it just is a good card. Okay, they have a K return. You don't have many trophies this season? That's true. I've got 1 or 2 on my other account though. Thanks for letting me know. So I think I'm going to go for Unearth, Skimmer, cast Oculus. I've not tried Blueprints. Pretty deep into Expedition 33. Might just get Flashback K returned out of this game. I'm in Act 3. Yeah, the game is unbelievably good. It's a different build, but with Supplier and Crab as mill interaction and Cauldron and 3 Oculus. I'm a big hater of Hedge and Crab. I know it mills you for a lot of cards. I don't even think this is necessarily a deck that cares that much about just raw mill counts, but typically I feel like once you've been like, I've got it, Hedge and Crab, the plot has been lost. We are going to get smashed by this K return. And probably go to game 2. They did put 3 on the bottom. Seems still so hard for them to not have anything for this. Yeah. To game 2 we go. I haven't played against much Eldrazi lately. Can we jam some black overlords in this trigger Skimmer? I think Dredger's Insight is much better than Overlord in this deck. Like in the Boros Prowess metagame, the card that lets us combo kill from a lower life total, to me is just like so mandatory. You know what I mean? Do you think I want to focus mostly on the combo? Let's try this. So you have a Consign. It's kind of it. A mulligan, I think. I have a lot of better hands. I think this hand's better. It's probably going to be a little bit worried about dying on turn 3, and they might happen. Soultrader? Mill Soultrader, draw on Earth. Okay, I'm gonna play the Frog. If they have a K return, then I get to save the Frog, which will be pretty good. Oh my gosh, I meant to get Breeding Pool. Okay, never mind. We're playing Dredger's Insight. Pick up the Skimmer over the Delta, I think. It's pretty good with the Frog. They can't kick a Myco Spawn. Getting a land to play around Myco Spawn, I don't know if that made how much sense that made. This is not a red talisman. Alright. So I gotta dodge Dismember. As a brewer, my thoughts on SCG's value vintage format. I haven't heard of it. I don't know what that is. Typically, I'm not very interested in like homebrew formats that I can't play in like big tournament settings. I can't play on Magic Online. Like, I think formats where there's like not a lot of people working on it, where it's not like a very serious environment. It doesn't have a lot of eyes on it. I don't think they're usually that fun because they don't usually get that competitive. People just kind of play like their pet decks and stuff. Thanks for the raid, Dante. We're going to game 3 against Eldrazi here. Maybe the format's good. I just haven't heard of it, though. Did you consider putting a +1 counter instead of making a token to play on K return? I didn't really think about that, but maybe I should have. All right, we're going to keep this on 6. This hand's great if we draw a black source, and does nothing, obviously, if we don't. With this hand, I definitely... Okay, let's go. I would definitely consign a Talisman, untap, play Frog. Have I watched weekly MTG? I never have in my entire life. I guess I pop in a little bit sometimes during the stream if it's modern related, but usually I just let people tell me what's going on. So if I draw a land, am I waiting a turn on the Frog? Well, I didn't draw the land. I think I kind of gotta play it. Darn. I'm going to discard the Soultrader. And if I draw a land, I can go land Unearth. Can I unearth the Soultrader and keep up a Consign this turn? It's very slow to do that, though. And if I can play Frog and then unearth the Soultrader, maybe even draw land off the Frog first, and I get to draw another card off the Unearth, then hold up Consign, that does seem really valuable. And this turn, like, I don't care. I guess I do care about... I mean, a kicked Mycospawn is just not going to be that beatable, even with 1 mana up, maybe. I'm going to play the Frog. Like, if they just have 2 K commands by turn 3, it's, or I guess turn 4, it's just not going to be that beatable anyways, maybe. Dang it. Okay, they got 3 cards in their hand. I still have Consign. They've got this Cavern, which is not great. I do draw a land. Let's attack. If they block, I think I'm just discarding Unearth and Skimmer and holding up Consigns and trying to use those with the Frog back up here. Don't love having to do this, but I think this is the line. Obviously, this Cavern makes things more complicated, but you know they still have stuff like Ugin. They've got stuff like more K. Now I want the Decay command. We could, you know, if they have another Mycospawn, we could get the cast triggers. If we put this into their hand, they can cast it, which is bad. Yeah, just a brutal, brutal Cavern of Souls this game. I would have kept Unearth and a Consign for more pressure, but I see why you want 2 Consigns. Yeah, it's just tough either way, but maybe. So am I consigning the draw 2 if that's what they play? Probably have to. So we're going to have to get pretty lucky. I'm trying to visualize what the win looks like. Don't feel like it involves my opponent casting this. I do think it involves Dredger's Insight. We need to mill the Gravecrawler maybe. Okay, we milled the Soultrader instead. I mean, this has reach. The problem is I have to chump block with my Frog. Maybe I should have played the Apprentice this turn. I don't know how we're getting out of this, y'all. Okay, so we go to 6. Why not replicate? We'll let you get attack up to draw Unearth. Yeah, I remember how I also did it consign and replicate and counter the Devourer. It's because the World Breaker is uncounterable thanks to Cavern of Souls. But I agree, I would have loved to have been able to do that. Alright. Eldrazi. Yeah, I don't know about Fulminator Mage. Yeah, I think you kind of have to be playing Cauldron for it. There was a time where like Kai Buddha was in the chat and someone was bringing up Wasteland and he was fervently anti-Wasteland, and I am inclined to agree. Okay, my opponent's on a mulligan to 6. I've milled over a Gravecrawler and I've drawn a Soultrader. All that's pretty interesting. I like having Dredger's Insight a lot in this matchup too. Yeah, Strip Mine would be totally fine. Goes without saying. There's a Marionette Apprentice. That's great. I might want to just unearth that though. The land isn't that helpful to me for whatever that's worth. Okay, we'll pick up the Apprentice. Interesting spot. New spoiler. Uh-oh. The Water Crystal. 4 mana, blue spells cost 1 less. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill that many plus 4 instead. Each opponent mills cards equal number of cards in your hand. Weird one. Unlikely to be a modern card. Being a modern streamer so easy, you just go, that doesn't seem like a modern card to me, over and over and over again until spoiler season ends. Let's do this first. I could mill a Frog or an Oculus and not just be dead to this. And that's what happened. And then I can maybe discard Warren Soultrader to the Frog to combo kill next turn. That card doesn't look very modern playable. Back to the stream. I can also gain 1 life by exiling a Trespasser. Insight life gain count 2 right now. Assuming there is a next turn. It's pretty hard to die here. It's like my Frog is just almost always going to get to block. Okay, they exile Wooded Foothills. Plays the Wooded Foothills. No, they're just sharing the spoiler. It's not like... I don't think the person who shared it thought it was playable either. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be discarding the Trespasser here. I think I'm just going to go block, discard the Soultrader. They flash back Lava Dart. It's kind of surprising. Then now they have Delirium for like a possible Violent Urge. The Violent Urge does not give Trample, although could you imagine? So they could maybe Violent Urge the Channeler, but then they would die. Although if they have Mutagenic Growth, this does kill me. No, it doesn't kill me because I could discard the Trespasser and gain an extra life. Alright, so right now this is 8. Alright, great. And I wonder, are we going to have any people shit-talking Dredger's Insight after this this turn? There are a lot of Overlord fans in the chat, but we are only able to win this game because of Dredger's Insight. Whew. Thanks, Wavelink. Okay, so we're up a game against Prowess. I'm going to bring in the Pick Your Poisons and the Decays. think I want to cut the 4th Soultrader and maybe 3 Skimmers. 4 Skimmers, bring in 1 Trespasser. This Trespasser is like, I don't think I want to bring in the extra, the 4th one because of mana curve considerations. I'm very tempted to fetch shock Watery Grave on turn 1 so that I can double Unearth on turn 2. It's a little greedy. Let me play the Delta. There's a good chance that instead of that, what I want to do is surveil on turn 1 so that maybe I can just get like an extra look at something good to Unearth. Thoughts on Meathook's Massacre here? I have very little experience playing that card in Modern. It could be fine, but I just have very little experience. Also, I realize I could just surveil next turn if I want. I can also just wait on the Unearths too. Like, Meathook Massacre is slow. It is kind of nice against Boros. I just have barely ever played with it, and I don't really feel like I fully understand the card. So my opponent can, unfortunately, flashback Lava Dart to... Oh, okay. The chances that I'm playing a deck tomorrow that's main decking a bunch of Abrupt Decays is non-zero, by the way. I am like really liking Abrupt Decay right now. Like killing Flip to Johnny, Bombardment, Static Prison, Quarry Steelcutter, Ruby Medallion, Amulet of Vigor. It's just all like really nice. This is great for me, obviously, with the Unearths in my hand. We got 2 cards left, minus a land too. Is Ducated Limber maybe 3? I might main deck 4. I might be crazy enough 4. I think if I'm going to main deck them, I might main deck 3. Like, if I feel like it's my best main deck piece of removal, I could just play 4. Yeah, Ring being banned, obviously a huge deal. Alright, I guess I pick up the Apprentice, and then I Unearth Oculus, Unearth Trespasser, and cry if my opponent Surgical's me. But I guess we'll target the Trespasser first to play around Surgical a little bit better. Shrink there, Delirium. Oh, I didn't notice that we had nighttime. I just don't know like what deck I'd be like, all right, this is our main deck Abrupt Decay deck, but I'll do some thinking. Could be like, I don't know if I want to play Reclamation. How much life have we gained off Dredger's Insight this game? I guess just 3. Although all this turn too. So they had Holy Heat targeting my Oculus, but they don't have Delirium. So do they also have a Bolt? Okay, that's fine. It does turn back into daytime. Black Green Rock, 4 Decay, fill in the blank. Yeah. So, a lot of blank. Unfortunately. Okay, they've got 2 cards left. They surveilled the Steel Cutter into the yard, which is interesting. Is this new spoiler modern playable? This card. The Crystal Tower. Choose to counter target spell, return permanent to its owner's hand, tap all creatures your opponents control, or draw a card. Maybe if Mystic Sanctuary was legal, you could loop that. This is sadly not playable in Modern. I guess the last card could be Mutagenic Growth, which would be good. Is that in Pioneer now? Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably one of like the special printings, right? It can probably be to show off this game. I accept. How do you cast Psychic Frog? Well, Stomped Prowess. It feels pretty good. Lost Eldrazi. Let's get a trophy prediction or 4-1 prediction going. Or we started the league 3-0 off stream. On stream we were 0-2, so 3-2. Not a bad draw. Why do you think Decay is so good right now? Well, it kills Steel Cutter, it kills Flip to Johnny, it kills Goblin Bombardment, it kills Ruby Medallion, it kills Artist Talent, it kills Amulet of Vigor. It kills the Eldrazi's like Mana Rocks too, so like it's like much better than a normal removal spell in those situations also. So my opponent revealed a Corey Steel Cutter, or sorry, Brute Scale. I just said Steel Cutter, so it's in my head, I guess. He kills Oculus. It honestly like what like why don't you tell me why you think Blood Moon might not be good if that's your stance? Because I just can't like think like what does it miss? Yeah, Witherroom Command might actually be good too. It's so weird. Like a Brute Scale, Blade. Equip. Yeah, I'm dead if they have land, Blade, Payoff. I think I'm gonna jam here. It's kind of weird. I think I'm also gonna make this a 2-3 so I don't lose to just level up the Ballista. Also, if they just have Blade and no land, then they might. It'd be better also if I do the servo. The payoff's in play. Well, no, because like if they go Brute Scale, Blade, Equip, then they can't adapt. So they would sack the Ballista to start the combo. So that wouldn't be the payoff. Damn it. So they would still need another payoff. Okay, so they had the Blade too. So scary. How do you feel on Decay versus Trophy? Oh, I feel like Trophy is almost unplayable. Like I do not want to be like trophying my Boros opponents 1 and 2 drops, and same thing with Prowess, and that's like again the bulk of the metagame. Miss 4 mana card, yeah. There's definitely some stuff that it misses. Isn't playing Soultrader fine here? Maybe. If I have to sack something to Fatal Push though, then my opponent like uses the Cauldron, that's kind of awkward. I also like don't hate getting to Surveil. I don't know, maybe it was fine. So they play another Ballista. It's a confusing card. Weird game. Wait, Upkeep Surveil. We really need them to not draw land here. Also, I think are Brute Scale gamers not playing like the first Mox Opal? I feel like you want the first Mox Opal as a Saga target. Like it would have been so good here. How are we looking to try to win the game from this position? I think I'm mostly trying to like get chip damage in with Marionette Apprentice. If they go for the Blade Equip on this Ballista, I'm going to try to respond to the triggers and Fatal Push them, which might keep them off Springleaf Drum mana altogether. Now, if I fetch now, my opponent can go ping, counter. Yeah, they can kind of pop off. So I think I'm going to go Upkeep Surveil. Graveyard that. Not very good. Why did you not combo kill them second main? They have an Agatha's Soul Cauldron in play, so I can't combo kill them. Maybe beta capture activation of Trespasser. Yeah, I thought maybe it was wrong to upkeep Surveil because they could have gone Trespasser, sack Trespasser, Unearth Trespasser, which would have been like a lot of damage. But then, I mean, obviously, like the combo is in play. Like they're not gonna just fall for it. Like my opponent knows they need to Cauldron the Gravecrawler, so it's probably was not the move, right? So I think we just have to start with the attack. Okay, so right now this is them taking 4, so we'll just go ahead and pass priority. Okay, so they ping the Gravecrawler. Now, if I do nothing, this gets to have 3 counters on it. If I push here, they'll be able to Cauldron the Ballista onto the Brood Scale, which is very scary. But then they won't be able to adapt, so they would need like another payoff in their hand, which is kind of interesting. So I push here. They can't do much with that. Then I sack this. They're basically at 8 from combat. So I sack this. And they also like have a little bit of a weird tension between Cauldroning the Gravecrawler and Cauldroning. If I push, I lose. Well, I don't know if that's true. But let me think it out and stop. Sorry, so they're at 8 from the damage. Sack this, sack treasure, they're at 6. Then I can go Trespasser, drain a Ballista, they're down to 5. Then they're down to 4. Oh, and then I can unearth the Trespasser because I'm going to have a treasure from the Gravecrawler. And then I can Trespasser the other Ballista. They're down to 3. Wait, am I 1 short? 2 from the Apprentice dealing damage. 1 from the Gravecrawler being sacked. 1 from the treasure being sacked. 1 from the Trespasser ETB. 1 from the sacking the Trespasser. 1 from sacking the treasure from the Trespasser. 1 from the Trespasser re-entering. 1 from sacking the Trespasser again. And 1 from sacking the treasure again. So I think this is the move. And this plays around them using the Cauldron on the Gravecrawler. Gotta kill Brood Scale. I think you're all wrong, but I might be wrong too, so we'll see. Alright, so they have to Cauldron the Gravecrawler. And I think I just win. This isn't going to work because they're not going to Cauldron the Gravecrawler. But the thing is, that's where you're wrong too, because if they don't Cauldron the Gravecrawler, they lose. They have to Cauldron the Gravecrawler. That's your fatal mistake, chat. They have to Cauldron the Gravecrawler. Cauldron can put counter on the Brood Scale? Why does that matter? Yeah, we just win. Assuming I counted correctly. But you know how that goes. Yep, exactly. Feels pretty good to find this line with a whole room full of chatters telling me I was wrong. Cool. Let's go up a game. With a big old sideboard to bring in. Oh, I just realized maybe we shouldn't have Ouphe because it turns off the combo. Oh, we could just sack it. Never mind. Never mind. Disregard. Did you beat Brusco? I guess this isn't round one of a challenge for real. Not sure what chat was scared of with pushing the Ballista. I mean, they obviously like the lead. Like we were gonna lose maybe if they untapped. They still needed to have a payoff, right? Because when they cauldron the Ballista over, they can't adapt, and then they could have gone land into equip adapt. But they would have needed to draw the land. We probably would have been combo killed if we pushed the Ballista. That was nice, though. 5 lands is a lot of lands. They're on a mulligan to 6, and like it. I think I'm just kind of. I would keep 4 lands, push, pick your poison. So I think I'm just gonna keep this on 7 against a mulligan. If we didn't have lethal, 100% dead. They equip, eat Ballista, make spawn, and loop. Yeah, no, you're sorry. You're right. So good we had lethal. Yeah, I forgot that started the loop. They rumble over Brutescale, Fleshraker, Ballista, Dismember. They choose the glaring Fleshraker, so we'll leave up the Fatal Push this turn. My pick your poison has been baited. I'm very happy to have drawn 2 spells though with this hand. All right, we find a Soultrader here. It's going to main phase push the Brutescale. They got 2 cards left in their hand. They got this Urza Saga, which is scary. So this isn't infinite anything. It's just infinite death triggers where I pay 1 life, I use the treasure, I replay the Gravecrawler. So maybe I should have just played the Soultrader instead for mana efficiency, but let's try to surveil into the win if they don't get like a Graveyard Hate Piece or a Pithy Needle off the Cauldron to stop me from comboing off next turn. I'm not going to crack the fetch, because if they Pithy Needle, I definitely want them to needle Misty Rainforest and not my Soultrader. Yeah, Infinite Storm. I love to see this Shadow Spear here. And I'm going to take 3 damage. They've got 4 cards left in their hand. Do they have a land to play for turn? No land. You know, we used so much brain power last game. I'm kind of hoping just to see a Marionette Apprentice and win this one. Yeah, I guess like just with Unearth in my deck, that's a little bit better to keep than the average card. No, I guess I play this and make a free attack. I feel like they might take 2 here sometimes. I guess hitting for 2 was going to be a lot more likely if I didn't play the Soultrader first. So they just top decked that. They didn't play a land last turn. They rumble over a Writhing Chrysalis, a Cavern of Souls, and 2 more rumbles. They choose the Cavern, so they might have Emrakul in their hand if they want another land here. All right, so an Unearth or an Apprentice should both be lethal. We don't have many good draws besides those. We get 2 looks, though. Thank you, Surveil Lands. Yeah, Consign, just 2 behind. Even if we suspect the Emrakul, they also have Cavern. Dredgers would be good. Oh yeah, Dredgers would be infinite life. You're right. So maybe that's why they took the Cavern, is them just having another one of these. They can also make another Saga token. They can do that now to put me to 2. 2 is a lot more than 1 life, though, so that I can continue to do my combo loop. So we have 2 Insights, 2 Unearths, and 3 Apprentices to draw into. So we have a 7 and 36 chance. I don't think there's really anything else that gets us out of this, because we like Skimmer wouldn't be a redraw because we boarded other Skimmers. I guess Scour would be a redraw. Yeah, we've got a chump block with the Soultrader, so I think we're just going to game 3. Let's play 1 more Unearth. Am I missing something? Infinite life? No. Well, you pay 1 life each time you sack Gravecrawler, and you gain 1 life, so you need 2 Insights for it to be infinite life. There's a Collector Ouphe. Ouphe is pretty good. We have half the combo. We have 3 looks at second land if we Surveil. And we have double Insight to find land 3 and the rest of the combo. I think I gotta keep this. They mulled a 6. I get that it's a 3-color deck, but maybe Academy's Awakening would be good. I'd probably play Spymaster's Vault instead. Alright, just play the Ouphe out here. My opponent not doing anything on their second turn, not even surveilling. Maybe they don't play a surveil land. That's good for those wondering at home. So I'm looking for a land. We find a land, but we also find a Warren Soultrader. I think I'm taking the land. My opponent's on a 1-lander here. I think getting this in play is just so valuable, and we have 2 more Unearths to draw into, and we have more Insights and we have more dig for the Soultrader. Remember, we do have to sack the Collector Ouphe if we want to combo off with the Soultrader. All right, my opponent doing nothing on their 3rd turn, also good. Me drawing Soultrader again, also good. Me being able to win the game right now, good. We do get pretty blown out by Dismember, but whatever. No shot. What? Okay. If we lose this game, I don't know. I'm gonna have to take some time off the stream. I don't know how that's in their hand. I guess maybe they just drew it, but I feel like how do they not dismember the Ouphe before damage? My opponent says GG, no land side, like at GG's. Okay. Well, 3-2, both things catch most deck. 4-1 with the Soultrader deck. Felt pretty good to play 2 non-Opal decks today. I wanted to play a second league of this, but I'm pretty hungry and my voice is kind of sore, so I think this is probably going to be a good stopping point, even if it's like 30 minutes less than I was hoping to stream for today. Might get some cube done too. I'm hoping to play some more Abrupt Decay main tomorrow. Decay was just so good today. Yeah, I'd like to do another one, but I'm just like hungry and my voice is sore, so I think it's just a good stopping point.